Coach Cater versus West Liberty, the Shepherd offense really took it to what had been a pretty good West Liberty defense last year. And first half, you want to run us through how many times you had to punt the ball and what you did on your possessions in the first half against what was a good defense the previous season?
Well, if we could set up any game the way we wanted it to, it would be one where you control the clock, have the ball the majority of the time. That means the other team's offense is watching yours, but it also means our defense is staying rested. And I think that was about as good as we could have had a half where we had 40-some plays and they were in the teens. So to be able to go ahead and control the clock, but also, I mean, you control the clock, you're not getting any end zone or scoring, doesn't make any difference. But we had a 17-play drive for a score, a 14-play drive for a score, and really dominated time of possession, and were able to build a nice lead. So I thought our kids handled the heat just a little bit better than they did. I thought we were able to go ahead and sustain things certainly a little bit more, and our defense was very rested. So, you know, had a nice lead. Just really pleased with the way it was set up because we had a nice balance run and pass.
It did seem like a nice balance run and pass, and of course with West Lib, you know, defensively, as you said, ran a lot of people in there, kept our guys rested, but when they were in there, they really seemed to be taking it to the Hilltopper offense.
Well, I think, you know, also, you know, we get a little bit concerned about, you know, our offensive line too, because that's a really thin area, and we've already lost a, you know, a player for the year that was probably as talented as we have. But, you know, I thought our guys really did a nice job. That's a lot of plays for an offensive line, and to go ahead and stay in that grind mode for such a long period of time. But they did a very nice job. Of course, it's a little easier to do that when you're scoring and everything else. But at the same time, I was really pleased with the way they played.
Individually, one that stood out, at least from statistics-wise, C.J. Davis making his first start at corner, having 2 picks, and obviously he's done the job in the return game. But for his first time out there in the spot where you guys let him, you know, kind of go one-on-one quite a bit. Tell us about the effectiveness of him having his first start.
Well, I think the thing that people miss sometimes is that, you know, he is a really good athlete, and you get a chance to see him really have some impact on games with special teams and being able to go ahead and be an excellent return player. But at the same time, he is very talented, and for him to be able to step in, great start for him, because it was a situation where he had a couple interceptions, which you can't ever count on those things, but to be able to go ahead and get those for us and stop some drives, or at least stop some opportunities that they had to go ahead and score, you know, that was really big too. But I think, you know, it's not like he was a true freshman. You know, he played last year, but in a more diminished role, primarily on special teams, and for him to go in and step in and have that kind of impact on the game was excellent.
So looking at this week, a rival in Fairmont State University, our closest by proximity opponent in the Mountain East Conference, informally West Virginia Conference. Fairmont lost the Battle of the Falcons last week to Notre Dame, but definitely put the ball in the air a lot. I believe they threw 52 times on the day.
Well, it's a whole different kind of offense than we saw last year. Last year they didn't score a lot of points. I thought their defense was pretty good last year. Rivalry game, yeah, but offensively, and they're a young football team. If you look at the people that they've got playing, and you look at their 2 deep, whether offense or defense, they're a young football team. But I know they're excited. I know it's a loss, but for them to go ahead and say, hey, you know, we scored some points, we were able to move the football, you know, we're able to go ahead and maybe put a little bit more of an emphasis on the passing game, but they got some speed, and our defense is going to definitely be challenged. If we could write a script again, you know, that we wanted the way the game to go this week, it would be very much like last week. Let's limit their opportunities. Let's go ahead and control the football. But bottom line, we've got to score, and you can't ever count on scoring 38 points in a ball game. But you know, for us to be able to go ahead and leave our defense out there for long periods of time, they're going to be able to do some things. They got enough speed. It only takes one little mistake or a missed tackle, and it's a big play. So you know, we need to stay on the field as well.
Maybe not so much rivalry, but the history of the old West Virginia Conference. Shepherd and Fairmont won the most titles through the years. Shepherd finishing, I believe, with 17, and Fairmont with 16 over the time of the West Virginia Conference. Their coach Deegan Duvall had a statue unveiled in front of their stadium last week. Can you tell me maybe over your breadth of your career what it was like, you know, in essence, trying to chase what Fairmont did as the Shepherd coach, building our program? We're now by record, by accolades, you know, we may be the star program of the Mountain East Conference, where I think when you came in, Fairmont probably would have been the star program of the West Virginia Conference.
Well, I mean, without a doubt, if you look at the storied history of of the West Virginia Conference, they were the team to beat. And it was huge feelings, anger, whatever, when I got here, that they wouldn't even talk to those guys, our staff. So, you know, you kind of got caught up in that just a little bit, although the respect part of it for me was a little bit different, because some of the people, Rusty Elliott, for example, was in the league almost as long as I had been, and a good guy, you know, and Mike Lopez, a heck of a guy, and stuff like that too. Do you want to whip them? Yes, you do. And do they want to get us? Without a doubt. But at the same time, there is great respect. Rivalry, yes. Respect, even more so. And it'll be a great challenge for us Saturday.
Great. Well, Coach Kidd, we appreciate it. We wish you luck this weekend, and thanks for coming on to the video for today.
Thank you.